Listen and repeat. Live. Where do you live now? Where do you live now? Do you live alone? Do you live alone? Who do you live with? Who do you live with? I live in a small town. I live in a small town. She lives in New York. She lives in New York. They live together in a big house. They live together in a big house. He lives near the park. He lives near the park. We live in the same neighborhood. We live in the same neighborhood. I don't live far from here. I don't live far from here. He doesn't live in this city anymore. He doesn't live in this city anymore. How long have you lived here? How long have you lived here? Do you live in a house or an apartment? Do you live in a house or an apartment? I live with my best friend. I live with my best friend. She lives with her younger sister. She lives with her younger sister. They live in a different state. They live in a different state. Do you live near your family? Do you live near your family? I live close to my workplace. I live close to my workplace. He doesn't live in this country. He doesn't live in this country. She doesn't live in a big city. She doesn't live in a big city. He lives in a different country now. He lives in a different country now. We live in a rented house. We live in a rented house. She lives with her parents. She lives with her parents. Do they live in a big city? Do they live in a big city? Do they live in a safe neighborhood? Do they live in a safe neighborhood? He lives in a modern apartment. He lives in a modern apartment. Do they live far from here? Do they live far from here? She lives on the top floor. She lives on the top floor. He lives near the train station. He lives near the train station. I live just around the corner. I live just around the corner. She doesn't live with her husband. She doesn't live with her husband. Why do you live so far away? Why do you live so far away? We live in a small apartment downtown. We live in a small apartment downtown. My grandparents live in the countryside. My grandparents live in the countryside. They don't live in the same house anymore. They don't live in the same house anymore. Do you live in a quiet area? Do you live in a quiet area? How many people live in this house? How many people live in this house? They live in a small town by the river. They live in a small town by the river. I live near a shopping mall. I live near a shopping mall. We live in a very busy area. We live in a very busy area. How do you like living here? How do you like living here? Do you live near your workplace? Do you live near your workplace? We live by the sea. We live by the sea. They live comfortably. They live comfortably. He lives a busy life. He lives a busy life. She lives a simple life. She lives a simple life. She lives for her children. She lives for her children. He lives a life of luxury. He lives a life of luxury. Do you live a healthy lifestyle? Do you live a healthy lifestyle? She lives for her dreams. She lives for her dreams. I live for my friends. I live for my friends.
Thanks for listening. See you later.